Hey guys, this is Aaron again, coming at you with a Lightsworn deck profile for January 2022. It's a new year, and I decided to rebuild my Lightsworns and Judgment Dragon because I used to play this quite a lot when the structure deck first came out several years ago. I don't know what happened to my old structure deck cards. I think I might have sold it. But yeah, I've been using Lightsworns casually and testing them out ever since they started in 2008, 2009 with Judgment Dragon and the Ghost Rare Honest when Honest was super expensive. But yeah, I just played this deck against my friend casually. Yeah, maybe just a few days ago, and he was playing Dark Worlds with a new Dark World structure deck, and it pretty much destroyed him at the end of each round. So this deck can pretty much keep toe to toe with modern casual competitive decks, even with the new structure decks that are out. So without further ado, let's get on into it. So first up, I would like to have the boss monster of the deck, as usual, 3 Judgment Dragons. It's a good card. I always run it at 3. I tried running it at 2, but I feel like 3 is really good because if you ever mill it or if it ever dies, you can just summon another one and you just blow up the field over and over until your opponent doesn't have any more cards anymore. I know destruction effects aren't as effective in the meta nowadays, but in casual competitive play, nuking the board and attacking for a game is still really good. Puts a lot of damage out there. It's up there with like Blue Eyes and other casual decks for damage output potential in one turn. So really good card, not a once per turn effect. Main boss monster in your deck. This is one of the main monsters I want to see when I want to go for big damage. So 3 Judgment Dragon, pretty self-explanatory. For the next 3, I have 3 Raidens. This is also pretty much self-explanatory. If it's not for Judgment Dragon, I would be using Raiden and Lumina and synchro summoning them into Michael the Arc Lightsworn. Raiden just helps you mill. It's pretty standard since the structure deck came out with this. This used to be like $3 or $4, $5 card when it first came out. It had really high demand, but since it got reprinted, it's really cheap to pick up. Lightsworns are super cheap to pick up nowadays. That's why I just decided to get a hollowed, kind of a core deck hollowed out version of the core Lightsworn cards. So yeah, I like it as ultra rares. Yeah, so mills 2 for its effect, and then at the end phase you mill another 2. So it's really nice for milling, and it's a tuner for synchro summons. I have 3 Lumina Lightsworn Summoner. This is one of your main gameplays, main strat plays of the deck. 3 Luminas. I bought her as another 3 copies of ultra rare. I think the structure deck had it as a common or something, so I just decided to get 3 copies of Lumina because it looks nice. Lumina, its effect is that you just discard a card, you target a level 4 or lower Lightsworn in the graveyard and summon it. And I believe that you have to have a Lightsworn monster in your graveyard before you can use your effect to discard. Because if you don't have a Lightsworn monster in the graveyard, you can't use your effect correctly. So that's what I've seen in playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or the Ignis Pro software, that you need to have a Lightsworn in the grave. But yeah, she's a really good combo card. You can discard a card and summon Raiden back onto the field, use Raiden's effect to mill 2, and then sync them up together for a synchro, which is usually Michael the Arc Lightsworn or another level 7 synchro, or you can even use it for links if you really need to. It's pretty cool. Yeah, one of the main plays of the game before you summon Judge Dragon, Lumina and Raiden. Pretty standard. Which is, what is not standard is Wolf at a 1 of. I tried playing Wolf at multiples 2 or 3. I guess I tried it at 2 of and it was okay. But I feel like when I try to run 3 Wolves, for some reason, I don't know if it's me or just for other people, I feel like when I run like it at least 2 or 3 of, it always gets stuck in my hand, and I end up just losing the game because I can't summon it from my hand. Yeah, you need other cards for this to work correctly. If you don't have other cards, if you're like top decking, this card is not going to work. Like, it doesn't do anything by itself. That's why I only use it as one of, as an extender. When I end up milling it, it can summon it from the graveyard. So it's just 1 Wolf. I play against my friend more a back row deck, so I like to run 2 Lilas. Some people don't even run Lila anymore because new meta games nowadays, people don't even run that much spells or traps. But for my decks, standard decks, I like running a lot of traps, like 8 to 10 traps, like Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strikes, Skill Drain, Royal Decree, all that good stuff. So for against against a couple of my friends that play casually, Lila's is really good. You can just change it to defense mode and destroy a spell or trap in the field. And like the usual Lightsworn effects, it always mills a couple of cards. This one mills 3 at the end of the turn. So that was pretty nice. I was looking for hollows, but they didn't have any hollows at Frankincense in LA, where I go to buy my cards sometimes. But so I just ended up getting cons. But that's okay. Most of the other Lightsworns are hollows. I have a Lightsworn Paladin. What's his name? Jane the Lightsworn Paladin. I have 2 of them. I'm only running 1 hollow. Looks really good as an ultra, not as good as common, so I'm glad I picked up as hollow. It's just another body on the board, just another name for Judge and Dragon. You don't have to run this if you don't want to. It just gains 300 attack when it attacks during the battle phase. That's it. And then you mill 2 at the end of the turn. So it just helps mill. Another name for Judge and Dragon. Not too much to say. Just another generic beat stick. Aaron, this is good if you're playing against a lot of face-down defense monsters or a lot of defense monsters, like maybe even like Ghost Ricks or something like that. So if you're playing like rogue decks or like gimmicky decks that put a lot of monsters in face-down defense, or even Shaddolls, you attack and just shuffle them into deck. It's kind of funny where they can't really use much of their effects. Again, not everyone uses this. End of the end phase, you just mill 3. I like Lightsworns because you get a mill and nuked board. Milling is really fun. You just keep discarding cards. So yeah, there's another name for Judge Dragon. One of the other last names for Judge Dragon, Garroth. They happen to have this as an ultra rare. I think it looks pretty good as a hollow, so I just use it. I mean, it doesn't mill by itself, but it mills when another Lightsworn mills. So like double mills. Only when something else happens, not by its own effect. So it's okay. It's just another 1850 4-star beater. Just another name for Judge Dragon. You can take this out for like some other Lightsworns or like even Ash Blossom if you want to, if you're playing more meta. Alright, so that's all the Lightsworns, or most of it. Let me go into some of the dragons. So I have 1 Chaos Dragon Levineer. I would use this at times to summon Lumina from the graveyard. So I would banish 3 lights, and then if I have enough light monsters in the graveyard, I'd use Lumina. And then I discard a card, and then I just summon a Raiden, and then I just go off playing like Lynx or the XEs or Synchros and stuff. And then if you have another level 8 on the board, like a Stardust Dragon or something, you can use like Chaos Dragon 11 years, since this guy's a level 8. Stardust Dragon's also level 8, and then you can XE it into rank 8s. So I use rank 8s once in a while, not all the time. I use Synchros a lot more. But yeah, this is a good extender into like Synchros in the extra deck. Yeah, pretty good. Just one of 2 is too many. I mean, it needs setup again. It's kind of like Wolf. This and Wolf, you need setup. If you don't have like enough graveyard presence in your graveyard, like again, these don't do anything. So Wolf and Chaos Dragon Levineer, you need setup for it. Gores, I play an old school Gores because I play against old school decks. Old school as in 2010 earlier. So Gores used to be at 1 of. It's still a pretty good card. When your opponent attacks you, you can just summon it on the field, and then you summon another token equal to the damage that you took. So good card. Just helps with extender plays when it comes back to you on your turn. Heretic Dragon. This is kind of like a actual dragon, a light dragon version of Cyber Dragon. So when your opponent has a monster and then you don't control any monsters, you just summon it as a level 6, and then you can combo it with Raiden. Yeah, Raiden would be a level 4. So if this is a level 6 and then Raiden's a level 4, you can synchro into a level 10. Or if you have like yeah, level 4, level 7, or was it Gores? You have a level yeah, you have a level 7 and a level 4, so that would sync to a level 11. You can summon like a Star Eater or something. So you can do some like fun plays if you special summon, and then you can normal summon, and then you can just combo off into more monsters in the extra deck. That's why I like using these. This is one of my favorite extenders for like casual play, like Tiffany and Cyber Dragon. It's just fun to use. Yeah, so that's all of that. One last little dragon. Starleech Saver. I don't really use this first effect much. I use its second effect more. It's that you can banish this card from your graveyard. You can target one level 8 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard. You add it to your hand. So this one is, I use it if it's in the graveyard, I banish it to grab Judgment Dragon back. So in case like there was one time I was playing against my friend a few days ago, I used Raiden's effect. I milled 2. I milled exactly 2 Judgment Dragons. I believe on its first part of its effect. So that kind of sucked. So I think I used Starly Safer to grab one of the Judgment Dragons back from the graveyard. So it's a pretty useful card for getting Judgment Dragon back. And it's a level 4 light, and light works with Honest, as I'll show you later on. Performing Trick Clown, when it hits a graveyard, you can just summon it for 1,000 life, and then it turns into a 0/0. It's just another extender play for XE plays or Link plays if you like playing Links. Chaos Valkyria, just another special summon. It's standard again. So you can banish a light, I believe. Yeah, light and a dark to summon her. And then if this card is banished, you can dump another card from your deck to the graveyard, but you can't use that monster's effect that you dump to the graveyard on the same turn. So Chaos Valkyria, it's really good for like, again, there's just like extra plays. Like you summon this, special summon this, special summon this, XE plays, you know, the usual. Plague Spreader Zombie. I thought about buying this or not. Thinking about using it or not, and then I just ended up playing it in the deck. It's pretty good. You can put a card on the hand from your hand on top of the deck. You special summon this card, and then you banish it when it leaves the field. This used to be at 1 of because it was so good in the older formats. I think like the Synchro Teledad format, and the Blackwing format, and the 2008, 2009, 2011, or whatever it is. But yeah, they brought it back at 3 of. It's still very useful. It's good for synchro summoning again. It's a level 2 zombie tuner, and then you can use it for Bale's, the Dark Dragon, whatever its name is. I'll find out the name in a moment. Yeah, but it's really good for synchro plays. Last 2 monsters, I have Honest. I have 2 Honest. Depending on what I play, if I run more Mystical Space Typhoons, if I have Harpy's Feather Duster in the deck, or like multiple Twin Twisters and multiple Raigekis or Lightning Storms and stuff, I might take this out. Or you can even use like Infinite Impermanence. Like, I don't know how good Infinite Impermanence is in the Lightsworn deck. Probably very good against meta cards, but against like casual semi-competitive play or semi-casual play, this is Honest is really good for just doing even more damage. Like you summon 2 Judgment Dragons and a Michael the Arc Lightsworn, and that's like 7,000 something damage already, or like 8,000 something damage, and then you use Honest for like another like 2,000 damage. So you can do like 10,000 damage in one turn. Like this deck is like super sacky. It's like Blue Eyes when you get like the right combos. You can summon like 3 Blue Eyes or like 3 Judgment Dragons. It's insane with Honest. So I really like it with Honest. Again, I have 2 Hollow Honest. I'll just run it at 2. If I want to, I can run it at 3, but I just have it at 2 for fun. Just in case you need like level 4 to stay on the field and you can attack over it, something with Honest. And then onto the spells, I have 3 Charge of the Light Brigades. Very good card. Standard Miller card. Staple Miller card for Lightsworns. Send the top 3 cards of the deck to the graveyard. You add a level 4 Lightsworn into your hand. I believe this used to be at 1 of in 2012, 2013 when Chaos Dragons started getting banned with your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and my friend got pissed and he quit during that time. So it's really funny seeing like hearing the story of Charge of the Light Brigade and Lightsworns, how they all used to go like 2 to like 1 and then back to 3, and then that's like long after. Like when it goes back to 3, that's when all my friends already quit, like from that era, like 2012 era. So yeah, very staple, super staple. You need to run it at 3 of. The one that I don't run at 3 of that might be a little bit controversial is I only run 2 Solar Recharge. The reason I run 2 is because there are a lot of times in the beginning of the game where I have a Solar Recharge, and I have a bunch of like Judgment Dragons in my hand, and literally my hand is dead because I have no Lightsworns in my hand. This is when the card becomes super dead if you don't have enough Lightsworns in your hand, kind of like Wolf and Chaos Dragon Levineer. You need something. You need something in the graveyard, or you need something that can dump cards into the graveyard, like for like those cards to work. And same thing for this. You need a Lightsworn monster in your hand to work for this to work. Because if you don't have any Lightsworn monsters, again, it's like it's Pot of Greed, but you need something in your hand for the Pot of Greed to work. If you don't have something in your hand, again, it doesn't do anything. That's why I only have it at 2. It gets super, I don't know, for some reason, whenever I play it at 3, I tried on the computer, on the software, it doesn't work for me. It gets stuck in my hands so hard. So again, I run it at 2. You can run it at 3. I see a lot of people run it at 3. I don't know how they make it work. They just make it work. It just doesn't work for me. Instead of the 3 Solar Recharge, I use Reinforcement of the Army to get Raiden back. Because this, you need a Lightsworn monster in your hand for it to work. This, you don't. You use it anytime you want to get Raiden in your hand. Some people don't even use Reinforcement of the Army in their Lightsworn deck. I love it because I can get Raiden instantly, like right away, without without needing any other card in my hand. So it's pretty nice top deck. Yeah, it's good for combos. Foolish Burial for sending Wolf to the graveyard, sending Lightsworn to the graveyard. Good card in general. I have a Reasoning. Reasoning, it helps you either summon a card onto the field, or if the levels, I believe, that monster is the same level declared by your opponent, send all the cards to the graveyard. Yeah. So if it's the same level that your opponent declared, like he declares level 4, and then you pick up level 4, you just send the level 4 to the graveyard and use that as like chaos fodder and stuff. Again, many different ways to build Lightsworns. I just build it as a more like casual, pure-ish Lightsworn build with some tech cards. Card destruction, if you want to dump all your Lightsworns. I have a Monster Reborn, which is pretty nice for more extender plays. Monster Reincarnation to bring Judgment Dragon and other cards back. I have a Chaos Space, so in case like I have banished cards in the Judgment Dragon banished, I can just bring it back and draw a card. 2 Dark Holes for removal. Again, I play a more casual competitive play with some decks with slightly more back row and standard destruction removal. So 2 Dark Holes. You can use something else. Also finishing off the deck with 2 Twisters. So that should be 40 cards and going to the side deck. I know it's getting a little bit lengthy, 16 minutes. Going to the Synchro cards and the rest of the side stuff. Not much side stuff. I have a level 10 Leo. I use this occasionally if I have like a level 6 Tefnit, and then I also have a level 4 Raiden. So level 10 Synchro. So I just use like level 5 to level 10 Synchros. That's a lot of that. Level 9 Gigantic Castle just for a level 9 summon. Level 8 Beals. So this one I use it with was it Plague Spreader Zombie. Yeah, so this one works very well with Beals. If you have like Judgment Dragon and then like a level 2, so you can summon Beals. Beals is it needs a Dark Tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. Can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects. If you take damage involving this card, this card gains attack equal to the damage you took. So pretty much if somebody attacks you, it just gains the attack. It's pretty insane. So I love this card. There's ways around this card like bouncing or flipping face down or whatever. But it's still pretty good in my deck. Yeah, I like it for casual competitive play. It's so good, like so scary in casual competitive play. And also let's see, I have a Stardust Dragon. I like using Stardust Dragon. I know it's not as good as anymore, but I like to use it because it's iconic. Again, playing casual, level 8 synchros are good. 2 Michael the Arc Lightsworn. I like spot removal. This is one of my favorite cards to summon to use in the deck. So one of your, again, when I was stating earlier, one of your main combo plays is summoning Illumina, discarding a card, summon Raiden, mill 2 with Raiden, and then you summon Michael. So Michael can blow up cards on the field, pay 1,000, and then you just keep attacking. So it's just like a better form of BLS or Blackluster Soldier. If you guys used to play Chaos format back in the day, BLS can banish card, but it can't attack the same turn you banish. But this one, you pay 1,000 life, banish 1, you keep going. You keep milling, keep attacking, keep rolling. Yeah, and then whenever it dies, you gain life when you put Lightsworns back from the graveyard into the deck after it dies. So good card. Again, one of my favorite cards for Lightsworns. Glad it came out. Mostly level 7 synchros. I have Black Rose Dragon also, and also Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. So if you haven't noticed my old Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile from like a year or 2 ago, this uses a lot of side deck cards from it. So all these synchro monsters are very similar to the Blue Eyes synchro side deck monsters that I use. So it's pretty funny that I use it. So this to blow up the board. Another iconic Black Rose card in Ultra Rare is very nice. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. This is really good to mess up your opponent's plays on their turn. If they summon a level 5 or higher monster, once per turn you just bounce it back. So really fun. It's like a compulse. It's a much better compulse evacuation device, which people used to use a lot of the times back then. Very good card. Last one, another old school synchro I like to use, Armades. I know it's not as strong anymore, level 5 synchro. So you can use it with like Plague Spreader Zombie, and then maybe like level 3, like one of this, and then another one of Plague Spreader Zombie. Where's my Plague Spreader? Yeah, my Plague Spreader is somewhere there. But yeah, so you can use Lumina with Plague Spreader, and then it would summon level 5. Yeah, Plague Spreader. Yeah. So there's that level 5. If you haven't used it, try it out. It's not too bad actually for casual competitive play. Because when it attacks, your opponent can't do anything until the very end. So yeah, that's nice. I use rank 8s. I know some people don't use rank 8s. People use links a lot more, I noticed, in Lightsworn decks. But I like using rank 8s. So this one, it just sucks up your opponent's card whenever they play a spell card for the first time. So usually what I use, I would use like, if Judgment Dragon doesn't work, I would use that and then like Chaos Dragon 11 Year. So these two would go together and then I link it up, or I XC's up into that. So it just helps out with the plays right there. Same thing for Galaxy Eyes, Cypher Dragon, also another rank 8. So it just sucks up your opponent's monster and then you can, or it steals your opponent's monster, you can use it to attack. So it's just good, it's pretty nice outs if your level 8s don't work. So you just like put all your level 8s and just use like rank 8s like Dingursu. I don't know why the price of this card went up. I guess it's because of good spot removal. It doesn't target and just sends opponent's cards to the graveyard. But it's like $15 for some reason. I don't know why. So it turns out to be like one of my more expensive cards I have in my deck, or in all of my card decks, which is really weird. Yeah, rank 8s. If your level 8s don't work, use rank 8s. Or if your level 8s don't work or other levels don't work, just link. I know you guys like to use links, all you people that like all the new cards. Tornado Dragon for you use 2 level 4s together. Silent Honor Arc just to snatch steal your opponent's monsters with 2 level 4s again. I prefer XCs over Synchros and Links and Pendulums, so that's why you see them a lot. I guess the more modern equivalent of this would be Nightmare Phoenix to replace Tornado Dragon, because Nightmare Phoenix you can use 2 of any monster instead of 2 level 4s, and then I guess Nightmare Cerberus would be 2 of any monster instead of 2 level 4s. I just like these because you can use it on your opponent's turn and you don't have to discard a card, where Nightmare Phoenix you have to discard a card. So I just like it because it's higher attack than Nightmare Phoenix. But yeah, it's just my opinion. I prefer Tornado Dragon because you can use that on your opponent's turn twice. Abyss Dweller, because of Abyss Dweller, I just have it there just cause, just as a placeholder. And then extra card, I have a second Jane I put in for fun. But you don't have to use it. Again, it's just another body on the board. So yeah, I love Lightsworns. I hope you enjoyed that deck profile, and I hope you had some, I got you some good insight into how to play the deck, and the nice shiny cards and their how cool they are. And if you haven't tried it out, it's really cheap. I think I bought the deck core, like the Lightsworn, Luminas, and the Raidens, and the Judgment Dragons. I bought them all, everything for like $30, for like 30 or $40 for like the whole like core of the deck. And then the side deck, I just borrowed the side deck cards from my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile deck, and the side deck there. So it's pretty cheap. You can just interchange it with Blue Eyes cards, like side deck cards, synchros. So it's pretty fun. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile and have a good day. Take care.